No, what do you mean you lost them? Just this simple task you could not complete and you let them escape. How dare you?
I am sorry, my queen. The fisherman is gone. The girl vanished into the kelp forest. But we discovered something. He found her as a baby at the river's edge, raised her as his own.
Leave my sight at once.
Morana's fury morphed into fear. She staggered to the mirror and whispered to herself. The girl commands the sea like Selene. This is no accident. The ocean is remembering. She touched the black pearl on her crown, a cursed relic from the night she orchestrated the switch. It cannot be, not after all I've done. The moon kelp forest swayed like giant black ribbons. Neri's lungs burned, but the shell bracelet guided her, glowing faintly whenever she veered off course. Echoes of Boyo's final stand haunted every stroke. She whispered to herself, I pray I see him again. Suddenly, a shape dropped from the darkness. A manta scout. Neri dove, heart pounding, but a spear clipped her fin. Pain flared. She pressed a palm to the sea floor, whispering through sobs. Neri, please help me. The silt stirred. From hidden burrows, 5 colossal sea turtles emerged, eyes shining with ancient intelligence. They circled her protectively, shells knocking into the startled scout, forcing him back. Neri stared, stunned. The sea answers me even in fear. Neri, exhausted and wounded, reached the ruins of an ancient sea shrine. Moonlight filtered down, setting her bracelet ablaze. In the stone altar, a matching crest glowed back. Voice behind her, gentle, female. You wear the mark of Selene. Neri spun to see a hooded merewoman with storm-gray eyes. Elder Maris, last surviving priestess loyal to the old queen. Neri, I don't know what that means. Maris, smiling. It means the sea has not forgotten its rightful daughter. She laid a healing salve on Neri's bleeding fin, then drew a rough map in the sand. Maris, Morana will hunt you until her reign is broken. We must gather those still faithful. Your mother's allies wait in the abyssal grotto. Neri glanced at the dark kelp path behind her, the distant glow of Thalasser ahead. Boyo the man Ahai raised her had told her he found her by the river at birth, but she had never known where she came from. Neri, quiet resolve. If Morana stole my mother's crown, I'll take it back or drown trying.
Cato stood before Elder Annika and Elder Bako. Cato spoke, I've been dreaming, a woman in a palace-made uniform. She keeps saying, go to the tunnel. Look where light dies. Elder Annika, curious, what did she look like? He described her. Elder Annika gasped, that was Maid Alia. She vanished the night Queen Selene gave birth. Everyone assumed she ran away because she got pregnant. The man denied her and she could not bear the shame of raising the child alone. She left a note saying so. Cato, softly, I was told my mother died long ago. That she abandoned me, but some persons whispered to me that I was born of the throne, but I am a cursed child. The elders kept silent because they could not tell him the truth. Then Elder Bako spoke. Then the dream is no accident. The sea wants the truth revealed. They agreed, they would enter the forbidden tunnel before dawn.
Inside the crumbling palace tunnel, the air was thick with salt and sorrow. Elder Annika, Elder Bako and Cato reached the dead-end chamber, and found skeletal remains. Tattered maid's attire clung to the bones. A locket still around the neck. Cato picked it up. Inside was a tiny coral carving of Alia picture. Elder Annika, whispering, that's Alia. Next to the bones, they found a bloodied royal birth cloth. Elder Bako spoke. This is strange. What is a royal birth cloth doing her with the body of Alia? They summoned the council and narrated what had happened. Immediately they decided it was time to seek for solutions and answers elsewhere since the gods had gone silent on them. In Queen Morana chamber she was worried. She did not know what to do next. She has noticed the elders had been distanced from her. She ordered Zal to keep looking for Neri. Elder Annika and Elder Bako braved the sea's coldest depths, their path leading them through treacherous currents and shadowed passages. The deeper they traveled, the more oppressive the weight of the water became. The sea, it seemed, held its breath as they neared the heart of the abyssal grotto, where the high priestess Maris resided. The grotto, a vast cathedral of bioluminescent coral and ancient stone, glowed with an eerie light. A soft, otherworldly hum filled the air, the sound of the ocean's secrets carried from the depths. When they arrived, Elder Maris stood waiting in the center of the chamber. Her storm-gray eyes pierced the dark, her presence commanding yet serene. She regarded them with a measure of suspicion but allowed them to approach. Elder Maris, in a low voice, "What brings you here, children of the court? If it is to seek Marana's favor, you have come to the wrong place." The air around them crackled with tension as Neri, hidden in the shadows of a nearby alcove, held her breath. She had been under Maris' care since fleeing the village, and now, uncertain of the elder's intent, she watched from the darkness. Elder Annika, bowing respectfully, "We come seeking the truth. We have seen things that have troubled our hearts. The bones of Maid Alia, the royal birth cloth, the locket. We have uncovered things that speak of a great wrong." Maris' expression hardened at the mention of Maid Alia. She looked between the two elders, studying them carefully. She was silent for a moment before speaking, her voice laced with sorrow and weariness. Elder Maris spoke. "So, you have stumbled upon the fragments of the truth, but the whole truth is far darker than you know." She turned away from them, pacing toward a stone altar where a faint glow emanated from beneath a veil of seaweed. The light flickered and dimmed as she continued. Elder Maris spoke. "Do you know why the gods have gone silent? Why their voices have faded from your world? It is because of Queen Marana's treachery. She stole the rightful heir, the daughter of Queen Selene, and swapped her with another child. The child you believe is the true heir is not." The elders recoiled in shock, unable to process what Maris was saying. Elder Bako spoke. "What do you mean?" "But we thought the queen gave birth to a boy. How could she have?" Elder Maris spoke. "Queen Morana took her, the child born of the sea, the one who commands the tides. She switched her with another infant, made Ali a son and killed her to cover her secret." Maris glanced over her shoulder, her gaze softening. Elder Maris spoke. "Neri is the true heir, the daughter of Queen Selene." The revelation was a tidal wave crashing over them, leaving the elders stunned. The weight of the truth pressed heavily upon their shoulders. Elder Annika in disbelief. "But if this is true, then the kingdom has been led astray. All this time we've served a false queen." Elder Maris spoke. "You have been blind. Marana's reign is built on a lie. The sea will not forgive her. And now the rightful heir must return." Neri, who had been listening in silence, stepped forward from the shadows, her face pale but resolute. The time for hiding had passed. "I am the one you speak of." Elder Maris gave a soft smile, her storm-gray eyes filled with a mixture of pride and sorrow. "The sea has called to you, and now you must answer. You are the true daughter of Selene, the one who will restore balance and bring an end to Marana's tyranny." Elder Bako and Elder Annika, still reeling from the revelation, sank to their knees. Elder Bako spoke. "We are yours to command, Princess Neri." Neri looked at them, her heart heavy with the knowledge of what lay ahead. Morana would stop at nothing to maintain her control, and the path before her would be fraught with danger. Neri, with quiet resolve, "I will take back what is mine. The crown, the throne. It belongs to my mother and to me. Marana's reign will end. I swear it." Elder Maris nodded, her expression hardening with the weight of their task. Elder Maris spoke. "You will not be alone. There are still those who remain faithful to your mother's bloodline. We must unite them. But first, we will need to strike at the heart of the false queen's power." The path was now clear. Neri's journey to reclaim her birthright had begun. The moon hung heavy over the sea, casting long shadows over the water as the group gathered beneath the haunting glow of the abyssal grotto. Neri stood at the edge, her heart pounding with the weight of the responsibility she now carried. The elders, including Maris, had spoken of the final confrontation, and the time to act was now. The ocean, once her protector, now seemed to be her ally in reclaiming the throne. With the full weight of the ancient priestess's words still ringing in her ears, Neri knew there was no turning back. Elder Maris approached, placing a hand on Neri's shoulder, her grip firm with the strength of a seasoned warrior despite her old age. Elder Maris, you will need more than just the strength of the sea, Neri. You will need allies. There are those who are loyal to your mother still, hidden in the fringes of this kingdom. You must find them. Neri, nodding, I will find them. I will unite the faithful and take back what's mine. The journey to the kingdom was a long one, filled with peril and uncertainty. Neri and the elders made their way through treacherous sea caves, hidden coves, and ancient tunnels known only to the old seawalkers. Along the way, they encountered mere tribes and old allies of Queen Selene, who still whispered the old stories of a rightful queen who could command the sea itself. The time had come for them to make their presence known. News of Neri's return spread quickly, igniting a spark of hope among the disillusioned populace. But Morana, with her far-reaching influence, had already prepared for this moment. In the heart of the capital, Queen Morana's rule was tightening. She had summoned her army, a fleet of ruthless mercenaries and mindless loyalists, to crush any form of rebellion. Her eyes, once cold and calculating, now burned with the fear of losing control. Queen Morana to Zal, her trusted lieutenant, you will find her, Zal. The girl. Bring her to me alive, and I will spare her. Bring me her head, and you will have more power than you can dream. Zal nodded, his expression hard. But deep down a flicker of doubt remained. The darkness that had always surrounded Morana's rise to power had begun to consume him too. He no longer felt like the man he once was. The day of reckoning arrived when the ocean's tide itself seemed to hold its breath. Neri stood before a gathering of the sea people, warriors, and healers who had answered her call. They gathered at the ancient coral throne, the place where her mother had once ruled. The sky above them had darkened, clouds swirling like a storm gathering force. The sea itself seemed to roar in anticipation. Neri felt the power of the ocean surge through her. The pulse of the tides was in her veins now. At the palace gates, Queen Morana appeared, her black robes flowing like shadows. Her crown gleamed in the dim light, though it no longer held the same sway it once did. The sea whispered of her fall. Queen Morana, you think you can take what is mine, child? The sea is mine, and it will bow to me. Neri, calmly yet firmly. You stole my birthright, Morana. The sea does not belong to you. It belongs to me, and to the people who've suffered under your reign. The air thickened as Morana raised her arms, calling on the dark magic that had once bound the kingdom to her will. Waves crashed and roared as her power swelled. But Neri, standing tall and unyielding, raised her hands to the sky. The bracelet on her wrist, a symbol of her true heritage, began to glow with an ethereal light. Neri, I am the daughter of the sea, the daughter of Selene. I will not allow this kingdom to drown in your lies any longer. The battle that ensued was fierce. Morana's dark magic clashed with the raw power of the ocean itself, each wave a testament to the ancient struggle between the usurper queen and the true heir. But the sea was not fooled. As the battle raged, the tides shifted. Neri's power grew stronger, amplified by the very ocean that had once whispered to her in secret. With a final, resounding cry, Neri called upon the forces of nature itself. A wave like no other surged forward, crashing over Morana, sweeping her from the palace in a powerful torrent. The false queen was defeated, her reign broken. In the aftermath of the battle, Neri stood upon the coral throne, her eyes alight with the fire of victory and the weight of a kingdom reborn. The ocean, once again her ally, hummed in approval. The people of the kingdom, who had long lived in fear and silence, now stood united under a true queen. They cheered as the banners of Queen Celine's lineage were raised once more. Elder Maris stood by Neri's side, her expression one of pride. Elder Maris, you have done it. The sea will remember your name, Queen Neri. Neri, softly, this is not my victory alone. It belongs to all of us, to those who fought and died for the truth. The elders, including Bako and Onika, knelt before her, pledging their loyalty once more. Elder Onika, we are yours, my queen. The sea has chosen you. The Shell Palace echoed with cheers. Neri, now crowned with a pearl diadem, stood beside the sea altar. Neri, I am not here to rule with fear, but with truth. The ocean chose me not for vengeance, but for balance. Priestess Elder Maris became her royal protector. Cato, a palace historian. Elder Onika retired peacefully. Boyo, wounded but alive, was honored as the guardian of the air. And in the palace garden, a statue of Maid Alia was erected. Inscription: she gave all so truth could live. As Neri walked the shore at dawn, a gentle tide lapped her feet. The sky shimmered. Her mother's spirit, Queen Celine, appeared in the waves. Celine's spirit. I am proud, my daughter. The ocean breathes freely once more. Neri smiled, tears glistening. Neri, and I will make sure it never forgets. As the waves gently lapped against the shore, Neri looked out over the horizon. The darkness of the past had been swept away, and in its place stood the promise of a new dawn. She had reclaimed her birthright, not just for herself, but for the people of her kingdom. And as the sun broke through the clouds, casting its first golden rays over the sea, Neri knew the ocean had finally remembered its true daughter. The story of the rightful queen would be sung for generations to come.